All right. Good morning, everybody. It is, what day is it? It is April 7th, 2017. And things are going very well in my garden. Got some new things to show you, and, good. Just got to keep up to date with everything. Got to keep a video log here so that I can look back in future years to make sure that I'm doing things right and at the right time. Couple of things going on in my beds here, including a very itchy dog over there. I guess we'll kind of start at this end. My kale is still just fine, but it is starting to go to seed now. I'm starting to get some flowers on it. The flowers started to produce, and then they kind of dried up because we had a little bit more cold weather again. It kind of has gone back and forth. But it is warming up now, so this will definitely start bolting properly here, which is fine with me because this kale has been fantastic, and it'll be really, really nice to get some seed out of it and replant the same type again next year, because it did really, really well. The curly kale that's down there is only just now starting to get bigger, so we'll see what happens with that. We'll see if it bolts too, or if it's going to keep growing through the summer. The mustard greens here seem to be loving the heat. They got these huge, big old leaves on them. I mean, look at the size of this. That's really huge, and I don't see anywhere it seems like it's bolting or anything just yet. But who knows? Maybe it will. The flame tomatoes that I had that I thought had died, I got one right there and one right there that popped back up. So I mean, they're small for the moment, but they're here. They're doing their thing. So I'll let them grow and do what they're doing. My radishes are still producing the bean pods here, and they're starting to get a little bit paler in color. So I'm guessing these are probably going to wind up turning brown at a certain point, at which point I could take the seeds out of them. Which will be really fun, because then I'll have daikon radishes forever. All of these are romaine lettuce, which it is probably too hot for, so I'm a little curious as to what will happen with them. But they planted themselves, and I've got nothing else really to go in there at the moment, so I'm going to let that be and just kind of see what it does. And let's see here, the cabbage so far is not dying. Neither is the Brussels sprouts. So a couple of things that really probably shouldn't be growing here in the garden at this time of year, but they still are. So I'm gonna let it go and see what happens. Tomatoes are looking fantastic. I've got all of them, pretty much all of them have set fruit. This is the yellow cherry, and there are fruit all over the place, but there's some, and there's more down there. They're all throughout here, but they're looking pretty good. And let's see here, this is the one that I don't really know which variety it is, and it's doing some kind of interesting things. But it's got pretty big fruit developing on it, so excited about that. I'm not going to get into every single one of these here, but these guys are producing fruit very well. This is the indigo rose, putting out a whole bunch of very, very purple tomatoes. This guy and that guy are both indigo rose, and they're both producing quite a lot. The pepper plants have fully come back from being topped, so they're bushing out now, and they're starting to look real good. And just yesterday, this onion that I had from the store, went ahead and put it in some water, let some green grow on it, and stuck it in my garden. Because why not? Buy one onion, eat onions for the rest of your life. Here are my squash. This is the Tone Autumn squash, which is doing the best out of everything here so far. It does have a couple of days leg up on all the other squash, that I've got, but it is doing very, very well. And the melon is in here as well, is doing just fine. My zucchinis were doing fantastically. They still are doing pretty well, but that one, this troublemaker over here, didn't go to like dig up anything or whatever while I was at work, but he decided to roll around in my bed and broke a couple leaves on this zucchini and mostly just flattened it. It's still alive and it's still producing, but it needs to recover a little bit, and it's starting to put out new growth already again, so it'll fix itself. But you know, wasn't too happy with him when that happened. And this is the jalapeno, which only went in maybe a week and a half ago, and it was topped when I got it, or I topped it when I got it, and you can see it's already starting to put out new shoots, so that's good. I'm gonna let it keep doing what it's doing. The other things that are exciting here, actually I don't remember if the last time I did this video if I had all the wood chips down. I think the last time I did a video they were still in the bed of my truck, so I got them all spread out all the way over here and linked up now with the other mulch that I had going on. I still gotta spread this guy around and get nice even coverage all the way around everywhere. Let's see here. Pomegranate is doing okay for now. We'll see if this year, if it actually produces like real fruit. I'm not, not trying to get my hopes up or anything like that, but it was starting to kind of flop over in places, so I tied it up a little bit. It seems to be doing pretty well with that. And then the lemon tree over there also, only half of it bloomed this year, but it was the first time in 5 years that it's bloomed. And I think we've got 5 fruit setting on it. So I'm very excited about that. I'm really glad that my lemon tree is finally coming back. That thing is actually about 10 years old, if you can believe it. It's just that it died back really, really badly in a winter freeze that we had a couple years ago. Okay, so on to other exciting things. All right, mulberry tree is doing very, very well, and it's putting out new growth. It's very happy. It's a little too small to fruit, although other ones of this size that were purchased from the same place I've seen have fruited, but they all had apparently like a couple of fruit sets on them when they bought them. This one did not, and I'm okay with that, honestly. I mean, as nice as it would be to have some, some fruit on a mulberry tree this year, it is very tiny, and I'd rather let it get a little bit bigger, let it grow out this summer, and yeah, and then I'll have fruit next year, I'm sure. All right, this is a hole in the ground that I've been pre-soaking a bit so I can dig it a little bit more. The soil here is not like caliche clay. It's not impenetrable, but it is clay-like nonetheless. But that's really okay, because a bit of clay in your soil is perfectly fine for my new shining star here, which is my coconut mango tree from Seamus O'Leary's. I was very upset at first because I had placed an order with Seamus online, and he was coming all the way down here to Tucson, and when he got here, my wife had to make a 20-mile trip to go meet him, and he had forgotten my tree. And accidents happen, mistakes happen, it is what it is. But I was really upset because I know he only comes down here, twice a year or whatever, and I'd saved up the money to get this. It's not a cheap tree, and they arranged now, just about a week later, they arranged for somebody to come down and bring this to me, which I really, really appreciate. And this is a beautiful tree. It's about 4 feet tall, I would say, in the pot, which is fine. But it has been pruned properly so that I've got 3 main branches to it, which is this guy, and this guy. This one isn't quite putting out new growth just yet, but it's got the bud right there to do it. But these two are both putting out beautiful new growth. Yeah, I mean, this tree is of a size where if I get it in the ground now, by winter, by November, December, I might see some blooms on it, which would be amazing. Mango is probably one of my absolute favorite fruits that I've ever had, and this is supposedly one of the most delicious varieties that there are, so I'm very excited about that. We did get some strawberry, which I think I'm going to plant at the base of this tree to act as a little bit of ground covering. And this blackberry, I'm not 100% what I'm going to do with it yet, but I may put it up against this wall or up against that wall. We'll see. All right. Let's talk peppers here for a moment. I got some really nice peppers coming in. Let's see here. Bell peppers coming in right there, looking beautiful. Some banana peppers coming in, looking beautiful. They're all doing really, really well. This is their second year now of producing fruit, so they're doing fantastically. The Ancho Poblano, I do see a couple that have been fertilized, but they're slow to grow. See. So there is a pepper in there, but they're slow to grow, and they're kind of smaller peppers anyway. It's an interesting pepper bush plant, but I really like the flavor of the peppers that come off of them. Kind of smoky and delicious, with just the tiniest bit of heat. So it's very, very nice. And yeah, the banana peppers, honestly, I kind of wish I hadn't planted 3 of them. I'm not a huge fan of banana peppers, honestly, but I just, I happened to get them for really, really cheap when they were there, and I thought it would be neat. I'm going to let them go this year, but I may wind up pulling them out in favor of like a different variety of bell pepper or something like that for next year. We'll see what happens with that. Let's talk, this is another Brussels sprout here, which is very vibrantly growing. It seems very, very happy. Again, I kind of thought that this is not the proper season for them, but it's moving right along. There are no actual, well, actually, I guess maybe sort of a little bit now on the stem. Starting to get just tiny little Brussels sprout buds coming in, so that'll be awesome. If I can actually get some Brussels sprouts out of that, that'll be really, really cool. These are the eggplant that are still coming back, still doing really nicely. There are some flowers on some of them, and some new buds coming, so those are all doing great. When the tip of the summer heat hits us, they'll be in good shape. And there's some basil throughout here as well. That is all, still kind of coming back a little bit, but it's doing okay. It seems like the lemon basil overwintered the best of the few that actually did make it. In the meantime, I'm just kind of picking off the flowering buds as they appear and mulching them. These are my Trovita oranges here. There was a kumquat in here, but he didn't make it. But these 5 are all Trovita oranges. and they seem to be enjoying their new spot in the sun. None of my seeds have popped just yet, but I'm holding my breath, hoping that they will eventually. We'll see what happens with that. This is the orange that I'm pretty sure that came from my neighbor's yard, and it is doing okay for now. It has one new leaf on it. We'll see what happens with that. I'm not, like, if this one doesn't make it, I'm not, upset, but it is what it is. And then this is the Meyer lemon, which is doing okay. It's got some new growth on it. And then these are both mangoes. This, from what I can tell, is they were both bought in a store. One of these is a champagne mango, and the other is like a Kent or something along those lines. Very standard big mango kind of thing. So yeah, so that'll be fun. While I'm over here, I'm going to go ahead and do my morning watering and get all of the beds started. All right, let's talk baby trees. All right, my guavas are doing pretty nicely here. This one is doing the best out of all of them. That one's probably doing second best, although it looks like it got something on its leaves kind of midway through here, and I picked one of the leaves off, but the new growth seems to be just fine. So not really sure what happened there. It didn't like something for a moment, but it seems to be coming back, so that's okay. This guy is super healthy though, looking great. As far as the passion fruit go, it's starting to get a lot thicker, which is awesome. They're all starting to get this kind of bulbous head to them now, which is great, because the bigger they are, the hardier they are. So that's awesome. The passion fruit are doing very, very well. They are putting out new growth and enjoying their new lives in lighter pots and in partial sunlight, so that's good. All of my sapotes, my white sapotes, are doing very well as well. All got new growth on them. Even the little guy down there who wasn't doing so hot, he is coming back. Kiwis are doing just fine, putting out new growth consistently. So bust pass. The bananas are surviving, they're just fine, but they're still not getting any height to them, so I don't know really what to do with that. My pineapple is doing just fine. Something chewed on it, but I mean, it's putting out new growth and it'll be okay also. Whatever chewed on it didn't chew on anything else, so whatever. And then this fig is also putting out new growth. I repotted and potted up the biggest fig cutting into this like roughly 4-gallon pot maybe, and it's very happy. I'm hoping it'll get nice and big this summer, and it's putting out new growth, as you can see right here as well. And then last thing I'll show you is my moringa tree. Which has been thriving thus far. It's doing very well, consistently putting out new growth right here in the center. Basically, that entire amount is what has grown on the main stem. And you can see that. Basically, that much has grown since I put it in the ground maybe about a month ago. So I'm very happy. It's grown about 1.5 inches in a month. And all the new leaves are bright and vibrant and green. Everything looks fantastic. So that's what's going on for now. I'm super excited about the fact that I have I'm starting to actually, you know, have fruit trees and things like that in my yard. You know what, and actually, let me, am I able to, well, no, I can't turn it around, I guess. Well, what if I do this? No? No? Alright. I was going to turn it around and talk to you like a human being, but apparently not. I guess I could do one of these, right? Anyway, you know, I really appreciate everybody watching my channel. Just got over 100 subscribers the other day, which is awesome because you know, like I've said a couple of times, I mostly am just doing this to have a video record of what I'm doing in my garden, but you know, already people have helped out a bit. You know, one of the viewers last time I did this, you know, told me about mosquito larvae. Had no idea that that's what those were, but if they hadn't told me, I wouldn't have known, and I wouldn't have known that I needed to do something about that. You know, so this kind of communal help stuff is fantastic, and I really appreciate input. But in the meantime, I'll leave you here with my new mango tree, and you know, it's a good morning to be gardening. So happy gardening, everybody.